We're here with Senator Paul Bettencourt on Red, White, and Blue. 2 days in Austin. Senator, welcome.
Road trip. I'm glad you all finally made it.
Well, we are too, and it's been most enjoyable, I can say. You brought 6 pieces of paper that your staff put on the table, press releases for accomplishments this week.
Right. It's been a great week for Texas taxpayers. We passed the first comprehensive property tax reform legislation in 40 years, where finally, as values go up, tax rates are going to start coming down, and that's going to be across the board for cities, counties, special districts, and schools as well. So that was a great way to start the week, and we've been just rolling the bills out, left, right, and center, primarily because this is the time of the year where the good legislation gets passed out of one house and goes to the next house to get ratified over there.
So the prospects for your legislative package are strong? I
think they are, because look, if we don't get property tax relief, the citizens of Texas won't stand for it. They're demanding it. Look, wherever you go, the state bird of Texas is no longer the mockingbird; it's the construction crane, and values are up. I mean, astonishing value increases. 11% increase in home values in Harris County, a 15% increase in Dallas. 10% in Hayes County, even in Austin, 7.2%. These increases are off the scale, and if you're in business, your number's twice that. And if you think you're renting and you're getting a free lunch, property taxes are eating you for lunch. That's why your rents are going up.
Yeah, because they pass it through. Now, one of the things you are passing or trying to pass this session is disaster reappraisal for when the next disaster strikes Texas. Tell us how that works.
Well, as usual, Red, White, Blue breaks news because you're the first one that is actually asked for an interview. We have now automatic disaster reappraisal. So instead of going through all this mishmash of whether or not the Harris County or the city would actually call for it, which of course they didn't, now the individual taxpayer will be able to apply, and they'll get an automatic exemption, okay? Up to complete having the house totaled, because nothing made people madder, Gary, than having their homes wiped out by the back flooding or just by wind or rain, and then they had to pay 100% on their tax bill. I want to thank, by the way, Spring Branch, Humble, and Katy ISD for having the guts to actually trigger disaster reappraisal. I wish HISD, the city of Houston and the county would have done the right thing for the taxpayers. That's why this bill is out. That's Senate Bill 1772.
Very good. Well, hopefully that'll pass. Now, one of the things that is common to all the kind of things you're working on with property taxes and the things related to that is the Texas tax system. And I know you have commented in the past about our tax system being created basically in the 19th century. So is it time for Texas to take a look at how we tax, and so we make sure that we have a system that doesn't break people like property taxes are, and also gives government the means it actually needs to do the work
Gary,
we
great
expect?
question. I had senators come up the day after SB 2 passed, the property tax relief, with exactly that type of question. We should look at that in the interim. Now, we did get some help for small businesses out. One thing that kills small business is time. So we've raised their exemption from the Senate side so that if they only have $2,500 worth of furniture or fixtures, they don't have to turn in paperwork anymore. And that puts a U.S. grant in their wallet too, But it's time that kills people. That's part of the tax. The question is, how much time does it take for compliance? And we're looking at all of that, but we're passing out some really good bills about government efficiency as well. So we've gotten off to the best start we ever have since I've been in the Senate. This is our 3rd try, and it's a charm because this is the best, by the way, major property tax relief bill, holding increases on last year's tax levy to 3.5% for non-school taxes, 2.5% for school taxes. That's really earthquake level of tax relief.
Now, but the local governments, a lot of the school districts have been lobbying, as we've seen them in the halls of the legislature, because they don't want to see something like this pass. Now, are they being unfair because this system does not lock them into this tax rate? They can actually get the people to approve it.
See, that's the key thing is whatever limits there now, okay, they can take it to the voters. Look, people shouldn't be afraid of the voters. I don't know why Texas Municipal League, Texas Association of Counties is so afraid of this bill, because they shouldn't be afraid of their voters. Look at the Houston pension bond. I had to fight to get that vote in. Senator Huffman put it in her bill. The mayor was still fighting it. It goes to the public, and the public passes it 77-23. Let the people vote. Anything that touches the tax rate should be voted on in November. We've had bills that are already out of the Senate on that. And also, by the way, another great bill, Senate Bill 702, that's mine. How about pure transparency on all lobbying? Everybody that comes from a city or county, we need a line item on their budget. We need to know how much they're spending. And I want it reported to the Texas Ethics Commission. Subcontractors, lawyers, whatever else. My guess is that it could be $200 million that's being spent on lobbying.
Well, they could be spending that on education or on city
tax
services.
relief or whatever else, instead of wasting it on governmental lobbying.
Well, one thing we have learned going through the halls of the legislature, there are sure a whole lot of lobbyists here. Senator, the time is up. Thank you so much for visiting with us in Austin. Of course, we'll have you back on the show in Houston as one of our regulars.
I've got more bills to go, so whenever you want to talk about it,
Well, we'll do a report post-session, and when we look back and see what did we really accomplish, what we did, and the work we have to do.
Well, thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.